quite, popular names. But I don't want to mean as in a racial kind of thing. But I don't mind because a lot of people have that same opinion too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe Rafael is like I don't know, Ricky Zuniga, something in R as well.
I mean, do you know how to actually pronounce my name in Spanish?
I think I did a pretty good job already, right?
Well,
Maybe the last name is maybe
no, that you do fine,
I
but
did wrong.
like
Okay,
my name
the
is
whole name
actually like
long.
Rafael, because you gotta roll your R, you know?
Yeah, I can do that. I have
And
that little bit of a side talent of
nice, nice, nice.
pronouncing an
A lot
R
of
better.
people
Yeah.
can't.
Yes, it's weird. I think some of the Vietnamese, some of the friends that from the same country as mine, um, I observed too. Like they can pronounce an R like rolling
And
R.
wait, do you guys have that? Nice, there you go. Do you guys have that in Vietnamese? Do you
I
guys
don't
ever
know.
make
It's
the
not
R's?
a yeah. It's not a like a. It's not a major point. Like it's so minor that like if you don't do it, it's fine. You still are the best. Like you still a very good person. It's not like um, you cannot brush your teeth or you cannot take a shower by yourself. Then yeah, it's kind of a major issue.
You know what? I sent you an article talking about Feng Shui.
Yeah. All right.
You're familiar with that?
Of course, man. I want to hold up just a half second of. It's a very interesting topic, but it's a very controversial at the same time.
Wait, really? Why? I didn't know that it would be controversial. Well, I can see why, but I
Because
don't
of course,
really know.
because yeah, I see the two side of the argument. I mean, two side of uh,
Like,
going for and going against that
whether
feng
it's
shui topic.
real or not.
Yeah, exactly. Whether the rationale behind of feng shui is correct, like in reality or not. It's just basically reality or just that theoretical mindset.
So basically, where the main question would be is chi, is ki. I don't even know how you say it, but is the energy a real
I
thing or
actually
not?
don't know, man. It's Chinese Mandarin, I guess. Let me take a look at the article.
Yeah, and
Yeah, feng
I'm
shui.
bringing this up because one of the main topics I had for today was mental health, and that
Exactly.
has
Let's
to
dive
do
into it.
so much with mental health.
Exactly.
I actually made a TikTok yesterday about it.
Wow. Okay. Um, maybe for your YouTube uploading for this episode, you can link that TikTok to the account, and then more people will check it out. And
Well, it is in Spanish,
yeah,
but
I
I
know.
could.
I what you mean. We can basically go from there. We can have a lot of side business work that open up from there, like link up the translation in English,
Oh,
even in
for sure, for sure.
England. Yeah, even in Vietnamese. Because I mean, it's so unique. Maybe some girls in Vietnam would love to listen to your voice. I don't
No,
know.
dude, now that you say that, in TikTok, I feel like that happens a lot. Like, and a Korean person speaking Spanish, and they have like a bunch of Latin Americans that listen to them, or like a Latino that speaks Japanese or something, and
Yeah.
there's a bunch of Japanese people that follow him.
Wow. I think that's very great way of getting people to get a sense of non-English internationalization.
Yeah, it's like a
Kind of
lot
like
of
a
them
power
just teach.
of having diverse languages. Yeah, and I don't think they will be able to master it, but that manners of uh, that charisma of that cute charisma, right? Of saying that, then it's gonna make a lot of people liking it or love it. Yeah. So I mean, if I say French, then I would just screwed up, butcher a lot of words, and it would sound weird, but hopefully my charisma can bring something for it.
Mm.
I think I will have the already a plan of a certain Vietnamese TV show that I would love you to watch along. You know the concept of watch along, right? Like we both watch it together,
Oh
and I
yeah,
get the
yeah.
reaction. Yeah, I
Oh,
have
that
that
would be
just
great.
fresh. Yeah, that dope, right? That's very cool for you, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like the combination of our cultures would make it even, more
Yeah,
attractive for people to watch.
yeah, it's down the line because I watch along meaning like I would refer we sitting together, a sofa and our laptop, right, in front of a laptop, and we
Wearing
watch it together,
wearing Corona
both face
times
hands.
though,
Yeah,
so
that's why I say down the line because not right now. We can do it virtual, but I wouldn't get your reaction. I wouldn't be able to shake your hand, touch your shoulder, and
yeah, that's
do
the
those kind
opposite.
of.
That's the opposite of what we should be doing in quarantine.
I know it's not the norm of this coronavirus. No touching, no brotherhood shit,
You
But
know, you know how my
it's
parents
not.
came back recently from Honduras.
Yeah,
So
how are
they're like so paranoid about like infecting me or me infecting them. Like my mom is like wearing a mask inside the house.
Yeah, you have a good mother. I mean, that's kind of like a must for my mother. You need to worry about your kids' safety stuff. If not, then yeah, oh my God,
Yeah, no, but I
that's
worry
not
about
sounds good.
them because they're older. I'm pretty
Yeah,
young,
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
and I
But it's
kind
normal,
of
I think.
exercise.
Yeah, I think unless they do it like in such a long term, then oh man, I would relate to my dad as well. To who over caring, like
Mm.
he would most of the time care me too much that it's could bother a lot of my work or the personal matters and stuff. But yeah, I just want to keep it like that. I don't want to go into detail of further things.
So can
So
you tell me? You mentioned that Feng Shui was like controversial, right?
yeah,
Can you tell me some more about this? Because I don't really know that much.
yeah. I mean, I would say just basically, Feng Shui is a very Asian, um, mystical. I was really confident of characterizing in the mystical because oh
Mm-hmm.
man, I would love to talk about mystic.
Oh,
It's
me
not just
me
because
too.
of my game. Yeah, it's not just because of it freaking related to the mystic class of most of
Oh
the
yeah.
Marvel character in my game, but that mystic is so unique that it's just gonna show us a lot of uh, I just keep it uniqueness in this episode. I mean, in this whole podcast journey.
You know
Yeah,
what's even
nobody want
more?
to touch on that because it's still very, um, kind of having that weird vibe of what the hell is talking about.
No,
But
no.
if you really get that, then you have
People
the
know.
power.
People will know. Something fascinating is that you mentioned the word mystic. Mysticism, and from my experience in my culture, that's like bad. That's like the opposite of what we would want to believe in. Like that would almost be magic, you know?
Yeah,
And we
mystic
we
is
don't like
almost
magic.
magic. Yeah,
We like
yeah.
I was again talking to my mom the other day and we were talking about Harry Potter, right?
Mhm.
And for
Yeah.
some reason they have like a very negative view just because it's like fictitious and they use magic and they summon things. It's almost as if it's diabolical for them.
Well, that's weird because I would say, um, it's magic. It's pretty cool, and not just me, but majority of people would perceive perceive as magic as something cool because it just make a lot of crazy cool stuff, right? It is clearly cool. So I don't know how to, go beyond that.
Now, why does Feng Shui have to do with why does
Mystic,
Feng Shui have that
mystic
mysticism
vibe, right?
vibe?
Yeah,
Why?
because there's sorry, there's no really science, technology, um, kind of. I was thinking on the scope of the human knowledge view, like that whole what is that circle chart? Yeah, the pie chart characterizing all the field in human um, knowledge that one can possibly learn. So
Wait,
science,
there's a
technology.
chart.
Yeah, you can look it up for me. Thank you, bro.
What do I write? Just
It
Feng Shui
goes.
chart?
I don't know. I just imagine it. There
I
should
mean,
be a chart.
I went to the Wikipedia for Feng Shui and I see something that looks like a very complicated chart. It says
Yeah, probably.
a
It,
compass.
it, yeah, it's probably a way different topic than what I'm saying. So back to this, just science, technology, um, history as like a what is sorry man, the human social science, um, humanities field. It go beyond that because human
Yeah.
stuff like humanities. There's no. I'm sorry. I'm not a really student back today studying humanity subject, but I can feel it. Like I can feel there's no rationale in humanity you can apply and explain about feng shui. Maybe a bit of a geographical sense, but if you really be precise and um, explain it science, I mean, explain it with logic. I don't think would be much logic in geographical sense and apply to factory. Like the reason between, I mean, the kind of the motivation and objective behind feng shui is creating this bunch of rationale connecting geographical space with the human um, desire. Like if you sit next to,
The
I mean, if you sleep right in front of the mirror, you you're gonna get into a freaking trouble. You're gonna get fucked up.
Oh really?
To the worst case or something. It's kind of like feng shui, that kind of that myth. Yeah,
So like one of the first definitions I heard
I'll
of
just give you a
this.
concrete example. It's very simple.
Mm,
Like if you know any most of Asian friend telling them about like sleeping in front of mirror, they would say no.
now what about I've heard sleeping towards the north? No, sleeping towards your closest pole. So like here in like North America, you should sleep with your head pointing towards the North Pole. Have you heard about that?
No, I think maybe I heard it one time, but it's really not getting to my head
So
as like I
does that
understanding
make?
it.
Do you think it makes sense though? Like I believe it would have
No,
to do with
yeah, I don't really
gravity.
see it.
No, but then think about it. Like with gravity and the blood and your blood inside your body and all your liquids, right? So if we sleep like towards the North Pole, I guess your circulation would be just much better, and you might end up just being healthier because your blood is circulating much better.
Yeah,
So
I understand the whole logic, but you know, they would say, so what's kind of connecting that um, circulation with the gravitational force of northbound? Like, what's like that gap is still not really
but I think
clear.
technology is getting to a place where
Mm,
it's showing these things that we think are
yeah. We can
mysticism.
rationalizing that gap. Yeah,
Yeah, like you know, telescopes. Or if you think about
yeah. Astrology,
string
way
theory
different
gets
topic.
into some very like spooky things that
Wow,
start explaining mysticism.
damn, man.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, right?
I mean, do you mind if you can give me a lens, like a glance, sorry, um, just a few words of the uh, ring theory you say?
String, I mean,
How
that's a tough subject. I believe we had a class on that. But basically, one of the biggest
do you spell the
discoveries.
first word?
Say that
Yeah.
again?
How do you spell the first word? Yeah, I
String.
thought it.
String, like a Java string.
Oh, okay, string theory. Okay.
Yes, you know it. I mean, let's read the definition. Check
I've
the
been reading
Wikipedia
on it,
real
man.
quick.
Yeah, I'm looking it up as well.
A framework, a theoretical framework in which the point-like particles of particle physics are replaced by one-dimensional objects called strings. Well, that is not what I had in mind. But I do know that one of the main things we've been able to observe is that particles can communicate even if they're very far away.
Mm-hmm.
So even if two particles are launched completely in opposite directions, when you observe them, the other one also changes according to that one.
Man,
And it,
at the same time I listen to this, I get this goosebump. Sly, like I can get the much harder goosebump than this, but like when you say two things as far away can kind of like connect to each other, it sounds like emotion for certain somewhere.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, yeah, I
and
understand that emotional um, connection to a certain someone, but it just, yeah, that's why I get a little bit emotional with goosebumps. But
hey man, that's
yeah,
good.
yeah,
That means that we're talking about things that matter. I know I'm talking about things that matter. That's why I want to talk about these stuff.
yeah. I think the good um, bottleneck or like the very deep, like the bottomness of the conversation is mental health. Everyone need mental health. Like even Elon Musk,
Yes,
he's
thank you
a,
for
a
saying that.
success,
I think my
a
culture
successful.
needs a
Yeah,
lot of mental health, and we don't pay attention to our mental health.
man, believe me, U.S. right now need the most, not your
Oh,
country.
I mean that might be true. Yeah.
No, they need a lot. I'm in near Toronto, Canada, but I mean I always care about U.S. and that's sad.
So
Like
you
I
know
feel like
like
yeah, they need more mental health. In my country, I was surprised that look on the surface, right? We
mhm.
tend to look to have more demand of more people with strong mentality. But actually, we have because mentality is not about just motivational speech like, "Oh man, we can do this, man. Yes, let's do this," or
Mm.
the the freedom is speech with a powerful voice. Like I mean, I can give a much better example, but I think you got my motto. It's
I,
not like that. It's need to be diversified. It needs to be if you need to cry, you have to because I just learned from a very great host. We usually call it MC, Master of Ceremony in
mm.
Vietnam in Asian culture. It's the same job title. It's basically the same shit. But yeah, I learned it from him. He's like for me, I think maybe I'm a very 1% of receiving his ability. He's like approach. I mean, he's like a preacher in doing, hosting TV show and stuff because you may have very good conversation, more like a storytelling conversation
Mm.
to really empowering people to boost their mental health, no matter what things you do. Most of the time it's about love, but like he's saying about crying is a powerful. I mean, crying is a power for women, and it's not really right, but his um, motivation behind it is absolutely spot on.
So this is like a popular speaker back in your country.
Yeah, like down the line, I will get you to watch with me for that TV show. It's a very um, it's the most trending TV show in Vietnam right now.
Oh
And I
really?
mean, Vietnam is not really right because international, like American Vietnamese, are they say it Vietnamese overseas, the overseas Vietnamese, or Vietnamese in overseas, like
Mm.
stuff like people like me. I mean, I haven't really been, you know, I mean, I will be, but I'm right now. I'm not having another season's nationality yet, but I'm still watching it overseas, so I'm kind
Mm,
of in that same category. So yeah, that TV show is the most trending right now for. I believe there's. I mean, you can watch it as well because there's subtitles, so definitely
nice.
you will understand it, and I will help you uh, to get the best experience watching it as well. Yeah, hopefully. But it's down the line. Like I would love you to watch it. It's not just good for us, but it's good for the
I mean,
the
I'm
YouTube thing
down
as
to
well.
watch it.
Yeah, you will fall in love with a lot of those Asian people, especially Vietnamese people. I mean, it's a Vietnamese TV show, but it's the same picture for most of
Mm.
Oriental people.
All
Yeah.
right. So something I
So back to
noticed,
this.
something
Yeah.
I noticed, right, is that in the U.S. there's a lot of psychologists. Those are the specialized people that are supposed to help someone at times of mental distress. Now, my culture is not really, or at least, my family is not really the type of people that would go to a psychologist. What we do
Yeah.
have, though, is a big family.
Exactly.
It's a strong family, which the United States has less of that. We
Exactly.
are close to our cousins, we are close to our aunts,
Yeah.
you
That's
know.
that's what they say more on the TV show with a lot of immigrant. They say it's my brother by blood, or we have a bloodline together. I never seen a lot of like again, it's not racial, profiling manner, but I don't see a lot of white a family saying it's my sister by blood or we have a strong bloodline. Not like that. They want to enforce more individualism. We talked about that in the first episode.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's at the end of the day, there's always trade off, there's always pros and cons and things. So individualism, and that's what is that like? I think family strong bond doesn't only have pros and cons. But at this current stage, I think at the end of the day, and also people say family first, right? So family bonds matters because even though you are very top of the world individual, you still need to make sure your family is the first priority, right?
I was listening. There's this philosopher that brought a lot of Eastern wisdom to the West, and he's called Alan Watts. And he was
Oh,
actually saying that if you ever need like help, you know, with mental health, that you wouldn't go to a psychologist because a psychologist is busy being a psychologist. And what you really need in those times is just someone that can listen to you.
exactly.
So there's like this whole contradictory thing that in one culture, people go to college, they get master degrees and PhDs to help people, but then if you just had a strong family, you would be better off mentally. So I do kind of agree when you said that it is the United States that needs help with mental health right now.
Yeah, when you go way beyond kind of like I would say it would touch on regret, touch on like basically regret in something in the past that's we always find oh we should have done this better
Mm,
like that tiny things about even though everyone would like even though a lot of people like Jeff Bezos I always been almost perfect in life if we bring this conversation about family back then not just Jeff Bezos I mean not just me but Jeff Bezos would have that little moment of saying well I could have done this better for
mm,
family because we will bring substance of this family strong bond, and then I would argumentatively, like it's not a fact, but I would give an argument that Jeff Bezos' family would have that own the substance as a strong bond, as the strong family bonds would have. Like, I think he's the only first, the only son of the family, so he wouldn't have any siblings, I guess. I would basically make myself in a big trouble if I screwed up, but it's okay. Yeah. I can edit it later.
Oh boy. Okay,
Yeah,
so this all this talk about mental health leads me to talk about meditation.
yeah.
What's your
Go ahead, man.
experience with meditation when you were growing up?
I have trouble with, you know, calm my. Yeah, it's kind of like a confession. It's kind of like, I'm saying stuff that's not bad, but it's not really bad, but it's definitely not an ideal situation. I think I have trouble with calming down on the thought, emotion in my head, because kind of like I just found that this will make me become a very wannabe, or would make me a very powerful person in the future. But I mean, like, basically, I have this feeling similar to Elon Musk, because I would have thought in my mind when, it's not totally blank, because I can relate it to stuff in a very weird way. Like, it's like
Wait, okay,
it's
so
like
you
in my mind, if I have a string or like a network uh,
of ideas?
of alcohol,
Oh,
then I just need like a more like a network of alcohol um, pipe, like a network of pipe that consists bunch of you know gasoline, alcohol,
wait, I'm so
the
confused. What do
flammables,
you mean a
catalyst.
network of alcohol?
Like I mean, just a liquid that is inflammable, right? And then I just need one tiny fire that can,
So you need the
you know,
spark,
yeah, the spark that boom, then it's gonna blow up, and oh my god,
and
crazy!
then
You can get to anywhere. Yeah.
no, yes, I agree. Wait, now that you brought Elon Musk, so he used to daydream a lot. Like he would read so much, and he would always imagine. He would just lose himself imagining all these crazy worlds that he was reading about. So I think like he got a lot of meditation benefits from reading.
Oh, nice! A very nice way of, you know,
Now I think I like we get
in the sense of
meditation through
reading.
some practices. Like I can say that I put so much time and thought into playing soccer and just knowing how to juggle a ball, that kind of
Oh,
was like
wow!
my natural meditation.
Very
but i
nice,
was
man.
but I was never thinking about like my thoughts. No one ever taught me to like that the point of silencing yourself and paying attention to your breath was so that you could you know listen to your thoughts and to reflect on them without judging them.
Awesome. Yeah. I also have something that I would say too. Like I don't know about much more unique meditation, much more unique way of meditating yourself. I always have the traditional concept of meditating is you have to sit down, like you need some kind of a meditator teacher or something, and they tell you to you know calm you down your mind and get your body in a shape in a pose that's kind of activating that energy in quotes, so-called energy, and then you think, and then you silence your mind and just keep your mind as like you make sure you vacuum all of the burden in your mind as much as possible. But I think it really doesn't work for me because inside my head is just that it's very broad and strong and just irresistible to vacuum all of them. But yeah, I think I would say it's benefit me 1% than less than better than 0%.
So you used to
Ten
do that. You
percent.
used to sit down and just be there.
I mean, not like a habit. It's like very
But
once a
who
while.
taught you to do it? Like,
My mom, she's the
oh,
one who
okay.
brought me in with the teacher. Yeah, like you basically have to pay for a service, like an hourly rate or something to help to make sure the teacher help me and my mom do meditator.
So that
And
right there.
also, I think that is not the origin of the story. Actually, my maternal, yeah, maternal grandmom,
Mm.
she's the that practices a lot. Like she's right now pretty old, right? It's grandmom, so it's like to be old. Whether you very old or old doesn't matter. It's still the time that you pretty much cannot do much like to making monies, right? So you have to basically improve yourself, strengthen your stability. Yes, yeah, I don't want to say people know what the worst case of that, right? So um, what most of the grandmom to do is just do nothing or meditating yourself, or at best is cooking for themselves. That I mean, there would be more of the habits, but general cases that like that. So my maternal grandmom, she's meditate almost like twice a day. If a
Mm.
day is, I would say, in a theoretical sense, is kind of like that. So like if she's not having a plan with a family, like she have to go anywhere, or she's not in, she's not at home, then she would basically do meditation twice a day. And yeah, she would do exactly as I just described. Sit, listen to music. So right now the music would be her teacher, just embracing the sound of it, and then you would increasingly calm your mind and go into that kind of very cool mystical meditation. It's like I would imagine as well. You sit in you imagine yourself standing or locating yourself in the lonely world with just between you and that energy around. It's not even it's locating yourself with another person. It's like a sky is speaking to you by yourself, yeah, with yourself alone. So she doing it for maybe 1 2 hour, and that's it. And that's how she's feel she get mental health. Yeah.
And mental education. Dude,
Yeah.
everything you said right now is amazing. Everything you said is what everyone I know needs to hear. Because what if I were to tell you,
It's not realistic, man. Yeah, it's like I mean I appreciate her, but it's not gonna work for us. Especially with back to me, back to myself. I support the idea of why we doesn't have much of the time doing that, but I know I would just be playing devil advocate. But yeah, it's just kind of how it
but
is. We live
okay,
in the
but
world. We're still young. We don't have to worry too much.
what if I were
Yeah.
to tell you, like, my family would just think that that is weird, and that they wouldn't even take that seriously. So
Exactly.
all that meditation and mental health education is just missing from our culture. It's
Yeah.
completely missing. And if you have somebody that is trying to meditate and share that, they might even call him crazy. Oh my god, someone is just sitting down and not saying anything, or like looking at a wall, and they're like, he's crazy. He has a bad connotation. And
Uh,
we go back to the
yeah.
word mysticism, right? Then we start associating that with like magic, or maybe people trying to practice sorcery. But
Yeah, exactly.
ironically,
Wow,
we
I'm proud you're
that
saying
is
that.
that is what
So
we
good.
need. We need mental health. We need
Yeah,
more
I mean,
meditation.
like it's crazy in the world right now, right? If someone had that job, nobody gonna bother thinking about at least considering them, let alone hiring them, because it's a weird job. To be honest, it's a socially abnormal job. Like if I drag myself, you know, to downtown Toronto saying, "Oh, I'm a certified meditator with the power of summon energy and sorcery," and people would
I
say,
mean, but
"What
that's
the fuck
not.
is
You
this
wouldn't
guy?"
use those words because that's not what it is.
Okay,
You have to learn how to
but
talk.
that's how you sell yourself, right? You have to bring those crazy, powerful words like
Well,
summoning, sorcery, and
well, you probably
mystical
don't
power.
want to do that because that's not what it
Okay,
is, and that's what that I feel like that's the stereotype. So you don't want to like, you know,
yeah,
you
that's
you don't want
why
to
when
like
I
feed the
say,
stereotype because that's not
yeah,
true.
yeah, just a one very tiny detail, but it's kind of funny.
Uh,
So I kind of like Doctor Strange, not as much as Iron Man in Marvel, but Doctor Strange is cool because I think he's kind of underrated. And then one friend of mine is saying, "Oh yeah, you like that? You are Doctor Weir."
hmm. Okay, but
Yeah,
you know the reason why it feels strange, like
it's a
meditation,
girl.
is
Yeah, just yeah,
it,
just want to go back to that last.
uh
I swear, that's the last word. Yeah, it's a girl, so most likely she wouldn't have kind of the comprehension of what I mean beyond a normal conversation. Like all these things, I would say there would be some people wouldn't get what we are talking as like a vibe. Like if they don't like it, they wouldn't bother listen to it. Like if they don't like mystical, they don't like abnormal stuff, then oh, but it's
but the
okay.
thing is that this is not abnormal. People are just scared to think. People are scared to take their time to do things. People are scared to silence their mind. And look, one goal that I have right now is that I'm learning a lot about meditation because I want to bring meditation knowledge into my culture.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
you're a great
pe-
human being.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
people that have already brought a lot of knowledge to the Western world, but in English. So I want to be someone that brings that knowledge, but in Spanish. Because we have even less of that.
So this is kind of simple, but I don't think it's like an instant answer. Uh, I mean, a simple question, but it's not like you can instantly answer it. So, what exactly you want to define when someone asks you what is that job? Like, how can you define that job? What's the name of that job?
Of me teaching and me spreading knowledge, or what do you mean?
Teaching meditation knowledge and inspire people, like
Um,
inspire in a mystical way, right?
well, what ends up happening is that you might get categorized as a philosopher, depending
Yeah,
on
life
how you
coach.
give the information.
Yeah,
Especially if you're just talking straight up about Eastern knowledge, Eastern philosophies, like the Tao, or Eastern religions, you might be just considered like a theologian or a philosopher. But
yeah.
to be more specific, I want to create a course. I have a brother and a sister that recently had kids. They got babies, and my sister especially, she got like an older daughter
Congratulations to
and
her. Yeah.
a boy as well. And
Wow.
I, whenever I become a parent, I would want to teach meditation to my kid, just like your mom did to you. So I would want to
Yeah.
make a
I
course
don't
right
think
now
she
to
did a great
convince.
job, but I appreciate her getting me exposed to that topic, and with my own self reflection and self growth. It's like basically we're doing it right now. We are growing our relation to um, meditation and mystical knowledge, right? By ourselves, like basically self learn ourselves.
Yeah, I just think it's so important, and especially to like extract the false news that people think, the stereotypes,
Yeah,
and
just basically
give them what they
rectifying.
need.
Yeah, it's like basically cleaning, like you. I don't want to, like condense, like
Whoa! Wait,
condescending.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Did you
Yeah,
hear
so
that mess?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
ambulance company
firefighters.
firefighters.
All
Yeah,
right, now they're gone.
yeah. So I don't want to condescending as saying as a janitor function type, like functional responsibility, but basically kind of like that. You're cleaning on that mess, false stereotype about mystical that people would afraid, and pretend to don't like it. I mean, pretend to not like it. So you have to clean it. You have to what is that? Sanitize it. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think every day I become more confident on my knowledge and my ability to convey and to share this knowledge in a way that my people understand it. Like I've started to have so many conversations with my parents about meditation to the point where they're like, "Wow, I really you have a point," they tell me.
Mm-hmm.
And then my
That's good.
goal would be to
Increasingly
convince
good.
my brother and sister to teach meditation to their kids.
Yeah. So you're on a very great track of increasingly make the like pull them into the kind of the good aura of mystical, right? So pouring them into that set of uh, this meditation or mystical uh, BS is actually good. It's not BS. Versus,
Exactly.
versus like the other set, I think it would just be too sad, like against and support um, meditation and mystical power. Yeah, so I mean, I just want to relate to this from the sound of we speaking as and my mind, as I was saying earlier, we have this crazy relation related things that's in a weird way, like it's not really. Um, it's definitely indirect, but it kind of go beyond it. Like there's no correlation, but it's okay. It's just an instant. It's just like I believe in, and if I believe in it, I can make it happen. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
think
the
you,
law of attraction.
yeah, I don't know. Just I don't attract anyone yet. So, but I mean,
I
yeah,
love it.
yeah. But back to this. The point, the whole point is podcasts. We're doing it right now. If we put it in audio format, it gets to the knowledge. I mean, it gets to the head of people because they don't have to focus freaking with your eyes because the eyes for me it's kind of like a playboyish factors in your human.
Wait, what do you mean? Like
Except in a
playboyish?
human.
Like what?
Basically, it's capture the most beautiful things and worst things. It's like a hyperactive factors. Like I don't know how to say it, but the
Okay.
eye is pretty much basically the thing that pull the most perception in your mind. You need to listen. You need to by like basically by being blind, right? I'm not saying to make every single one of you guys or listener, I mean or whoever blind, but if you just close your eyes and listen to something, and this is scientifically proven. I don't have the evidence to back it up, but I believe, and I got a feeling it's scientifically proven. If you just listen rather than both listening and watching and capture body language or own those visual cue, then I think listening alone will give you much focus. I'm not talking about efficiency yet, but if you just listen to it, you of course you bring more concentration level because you don't have to take a different stream of knowledge. I don't know how neurons and stuff. I'm not a. I don't even have a lot of knowledge in neurologies, And that is also the field that I wish I could have more time, and I would encourage you
Mm.
to, because that's very powerful. I didn't really get one of my younger friend at kind of he's studying it right now, and now I realize powerful. Um, just so much side conversation. I guess too much, but this just I think should be the last detail. The godfather of the so-called godfather of neural network. He's the one that start doing everything with neurologies, and then
Mm.
be able to invented that. So it's like he be able to studying theoretical BS. I would say, because I don't really like biology. Maybe that's kind of like the, 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 the biggest hold of this whole plan to study neurology, because like even the long word, oh my god, I cannot save myself too much. Most of the time I would just to not be able to pronounce it correct. Joe is the one that we've been talking. He's a master in complicated words, like
Mm.
boom, like not even neurology. That word, no, yeah, I think I mispronounced it. It's not really a like very rare, um, non-readable word. Like I think there's few words that I had never seen it in my entire life in any shape or form, and I always been honest person. And he can do that, I think so, because he know exactly how to, like, he's a linguistic um,
Mm.
expert. Basically, he know to um, break it out, like divide, conquer the word into logic, and then be able to integrate it.
Mm-hmm.
And boom, that process is for him to do that is probably like a millisecond. I mean, less than a second or something. Yeah, so I think with that whole mindset, like that, he's good. But back to neurology, yeah, study of brain, and back to this audio was it, you know, normal human perception. So if people just doing audio perception, then they would focus on captivating that language a lot. And like basically, right? If you listen to a girl, you don't know how she look, you will learn a lot from the exactly what she said. But if you have the eyes open, your eyes wide open. Okay, I'm gonna do it dramatic. She's looking a freaking, I don't know,
You're gonna be
like
distracted.
a goddess, right? If she looked like a goddess, then I swear to God, most of the guy, I swear, it has to be a guy. Then you will lose a lot of that efficiency of focus. Yeah, I've been
No, no,
focusing on
you
concentration.
make a point. Like,
Yeah,
sex makes guys very stupid because we concentrate so much on it that we forget to improve and grow on other aspects.
but that's numb. Like that's how it is in the world right now, like that. And it's I think it's even getting better like that. Well, physical appearance is normal. Like if you are a homeless guy, you talk like a preacher, you talk like a god. Then how can we trust him, right? It makes sense. It's simple as that.
If he sounds like a preacher,
Yeah, like a philosopher. Just put
I mean,
as
but if he
philosopher.
sounds like a preacher, he means he has like leadership qualities, which people tended to look up to.
But come on, if we do that social experiment, one of us can dress up as a homeless, and we have great skill in being a philosopher. I mean, in being a motivational speaker.
Okay.
Then we can collect how many people would get our attention. It's the format of that social experiment. I think, even though it sounds original, but it's kind of the same. Like the theoretical behind it. It's applied in racial profiling. It's applied in many things. Yeah, of course in psychology, because social experiment is it's how basically testing psychology concept.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've done that before, man. Yeah, I would love to talk to you more. I think we digesting too much. Lay down the line, and honestly, I don't quite remember. I don't want to remember that psychology social experiment I have. Yeah, I have a really, I think overall, very fun and it's like controversial, like good and bad at the same time with that psychology 101 class at Clark. But yeah, it's very fun.
Well, you mentioned, thinking something and then it will happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that I have learned that is actually very true. For example, if you have like positive thoughts, you're gonna be more positive overall, and you might end up being more productive. Let's say you are trying to make more money. You gotta think about making more money because make you gotta become that mindset
Mm-hmm.
of someone that makes money to make money. But then
Mm-hmm.
again, if you tell like my brother that if you just think about money, money's gonna come to you, he's just gonna take it as a joke, which is like the core of the problem, that they don't take mental health seriously. Well,
Wow.
at some point I was having a conversation with him, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I mentioned stress, right?
You mentioned about this podcast, and he would joke about it and would
No,
say,
I don't even know, but this was a long time ago. But I mentioned stress, right? And he was
okay.
like, Rafael, don't be stupid. We don't believe in that. We don't have time to be stressed. We just need to put in hard work. That's how we go forward. And that
Yeah.
is a mentality that we have, and it gets us through shit. But I think
I
at this
know, and
point in time, there
you
is
can
so
say with
much
frustration, man.
information. Huh?
Yeah. You can say with frustration, like as if like I think you fight him back verbally, right? Like you guys arguing about that because if you truly believe in that and you have that kind of mental block, like someone who just basically being fighting against that belief, then basically you guys fighting.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
even remember like what we
Yeah.
talked about afterwards, but I do remember that he had, you know, that he thought that about stress. And I already know that from my culture. We are people that don't really pay attention to mental health, which is the reason why I want to talk about meditation in Spanish and share the benefits. Like, like things like Feng Shui. For example,
Mm-hmm.
in the TikTok that I made, I was
Mm-hmm.
actually talking about how in my bathroom there's like low lighting, and
Low life.
there's low light, and
Low life.
when we used to look at ourselves in the mirror, I would look bad because there's no good lighting, right? So on the video I showed these two LED lights that I bought, and I
Mm-hmm.
placed them on each side of the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
and with that light, now my face looks better when I look at it, and that has to do
Yeah.
so much with your self-esteem. Because if you look in the mirror and you look like shit, but you don't realize you look like shit just because you don't have good lighting, you're gonna think you look like shit, and then you're gonna feel like shit, and then it messes up your mental health and your self-esteem, and it's just because you didn't have good lighting.
Yeah. So it has some sorry, correlation to some way I just say about a human of just focusing on the audio on like basically not open your eyes looking at whatever is even I mean like either yourself or the opposite subject, right, object, sorry. So
Mm.
just keep your eye closed, and after you see yourself in the mirror it feel like a little bit shit, then close your eye, then you basically shut down um, that stream of that pipe that streaming on that negative thought into your mind, and then the whatever stream that whatever negative streams already been filled into your head, you will handle it in a state of being eye closed. So then you're gonna be able to neutralizing it with kind of your inner belief, right? So that's why I say the I is it's not. I don't know how to say it at this moment. I think if I've been prepared, then I would give a more precise word. But it's light boyish. It's like it's just gonna give you negative and positive things at the same time. And
Mm.
it's weird because it's simultaneous. It's those positive negative is happening at the same time. Like back to that, just a very simple example of socializing with a girl, a beautiful girl. Then you were just focusing too much on appreciate her how to look, and which is good, right? Because that's what they need. But at the same time,
That's what they
are you
need. They
willing
need to
to?
be appreciated by you.
Okay, if you say her look shit, then what's she gonna do?
Yeah,
Either she
that
gonna
that would just be mean.
she either gonna just calmly as a nice woman just goodbye and
No, but
don't do any
well,
gesture, or she gonna just show any emotion to you, and like basically you end up shit too.
okay, okay. But I get all your point that
Get the other content.
if you close down one sense, you're gonna be able to focus more on your other senses.
Oh my god,
Like
yeah,
like
you
it
just
makes so
express
much
it in a
sense.
way. Yeah,
Like
it's you just express in a way that really correlated to one of the topic that I reserved for a
mm,
future episode about Spider-Man. Spider-Man, he
oh really?
winning again. Most of the character is he had that ability to do stuff without seeing. Like he basically not like blind, but he captured his inner his optimal energy. Like his best ability is go beyond crazy. Like
Mm,
he would as powerful as a so-called cinematic god would be as powerful as Captain Marvel or as powerful as Thor. You know those two guys, right?
yes.
Those two guys. So yeah, Spider-Man would be that strong because his sixth sense, the sense of fearing danger,
Mm,
would help him to dodge
spidey
and evade.
senses.
Yeah, fighting. So that's good, man. We're in a right track. So he would be able to defensive and be able to counter attack with like instant. That's why he hit really hard because he doesn't look like a fucking Superman, but he hit hard because he know how to do it at the right angle and
Mm,
basically do it by surprise will create a force because when people at surprise they have that angle of defensive vulnerability. You hit right there. Oh man, that's it. Like for me, if right now someone hit me at the back of the neck, then I'm screwed. I think I'll may get into hospital or he may I don't know, probably not killing me, but I'm dying because I have that defensive vulnerability at the back. Yeah. So back to this whole point. Oh my god, I lost it. Yeah. You know. Yeah. Can you
meditation.
help me with that? What were I talking about?
We're talking about meditation, mental health.
Yeah,
Do you think this should be taught in school?
definitely, man. This whole podcast future that I want to say is powerful. But it's not like a very original argument. But we can make it sound like origin by making it very powerful. I think um, college degree is still needed, but the education system around the world is pretty much broken. Like if you're talking about a so-called best education system, as in U.S., I would say it's still broken in
Yeah, no,
some way.
it's pretty lacking.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty powerful. Yeah, I mean the word broken would just gonna trigger a lot of those professors who teaching us saying like, come on, we teach you. How can you say that? How can you say shit like that? So we teach you with sweat and tears, and you've done a lot of work with blah blah blah. I mean, it would be really make sense for a successful college dropout like Elon Musk and Steve Jobs and boom, yeah,
Mark
those
Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg's yeah college drop out. They give shit to education. They have that rationality of evidence of saying school is broken. But for us, we have to make it sound like we be able to pull out as much as the biggest weaknesses of the education system. I mean, I need to review it. I have some point to it, so that's good. And I have a lot of inspiration from those guys watching. So keep saying like, you know, we as successful people in any shape or form, right? In making money or verbally as a motivational speaker or whoever, they say, yeah, education is not needed. And yeah, that's a mentality we have to think because like you're in a very unique track of saying meditation should be teach in school. And
That would be my
yes,
goal,
yeah,
to
but
go
but
back
if,
to
if
my country and and be like,
yeah,
we need to teach this in school. We need to teach mental awareness, mental health,
but
meditation.
but how you execute it is a different story. I know what you do. I appreciate it, and I would say I've been having that thought as well, but I would say execute it as in come up with the best solution and apply it and make sure it's testable, right? It's like, it's working.
Well,
It's a completely different story.
my first objective is my family.
Yeah.
Once I learn how to teach them, I will be even closer, to teaching more people.
Yeah. But that energy matters. The smallest atoms that not be able to be broken, like unbreakable energy, is your inner belief. So I would say we are in the right track. We keep that energy, that atoms. Basically, it's a heart of everything, and keep it surviving. And sooner or later, it's gonna grow into a crazy shape or form, right? So that's good. Yeah.
Now, yo, do you want to do 30 more minutes? We're almost like an hour in right now.
Yeah, we an hour, more than an hour in.
Yeah, so
I think we
how
can
does
talk more.
30 more
Yeah.
minutes sound?
Yeah. Whatever in your mind, we can say it. I mean, like we talk about
Well,
uh,
well,
Feng Shui.
now it continues, right? So
Yeah.
like, why is all of this not bullshit? And why is it necessary in the U.S. right now? Why do we need that so much right now? And I think it has to do a lot with
With the
you
current state.
talking about closing your eyes and the fact that when you close your eyes, you cannot see colors. How would it be if people
Yeah,
were to pay
we're
attention to each
utilizing.
other without looking and having that visual knowledge, having that visual bias? You wouldn't be
Yeah,
able to
exactly.
judge someone based on their color if you were
With,
blind.
with just closing your eyes, it's already dedicated to one episode. I think because we kind of haven't been able to relate it as in saying with reparation of substance for podcast. But yeah, it's a good thing. So it's meaning stay tuned for the next episode. Someday we'll talk about, like really soon, we'll talk about just closing your eyes
Yeah, we can
in
go into more
one
detail
episode.
in
Yeah,
techniques, how to do it, and whatever.
yeah. It's like we will give a lot of story to give audience listeners as seeing, as perceiving the power of that. Like increasingly, you see more and more power. It's right now. I would say if I listen to someone saying that, I would not feeling it. Of course, because I'm closing my eye right now. Wow. I don't have any sort of inspirational power yet, but one of the simple, because it's kind of being uh, explained in a very simple uh, point. I mean, simple story is. I think in the symphony concert in Toronto, uh, they are kind of the originator. I'm not sure if they truly originate that idea, but yeah, it's basically arguably the originator of hiring great musicians. I mean, musical performers with violins and trumpet or trombone, whatever. I'm not really a
like an
musician.
orchestra.
Yeah, orchestra. So I'm bad at throwing out job title in music industry. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, point is that hiring, right? So they do it by via uh, curtains. I mean, not curtain, but like that. That what is that? The door. It's not a door, but it's like a. Can you help me with that? Like,
I don't know if I really get what you're getting at.
yeah, like so something to cover up their performance. So you don't.
Oh,
Okay, yeah,
you mean like the red fabric that
it's kind of a red. It's an, I
that you
mean,
open up the stage. I mean, I don't know
it's
what
similar
the
to the concept
the
of,
curtains. Pull the
yeah,
curtains.
similar like the function, um, the objective of curtain is the same, but it's not a curtain. It's like a wooden stick. I mean, not wooden stick. Sorry, it's a wooden um, door. It's not really a door, but no. Yeah, I
So
have to
what is
edit
it?
this. Is I've been messing this up because we are not really a native speaker, so we cannot relate it right away. But yeah, it's kind of like a cover, right? Basically, a wooden cover.
Hmm.
It's not red color. It's still like you can see the shape of your orchestra performer, whatever, right? But it gives you ability to racially um, neutral, like basically not racially biased. So because it's come with history that most of the musicians or orchestra performer are white, so now not be able to see their race as a tendency to just you know overlook other non-white applicants, right? So they would see much better talent, and now ending up the final nail is that symphony in Toronto has a lot of people with different background, different color. So,
Hmm.
and it's both because they focus on the talent, not the
Yeah, it's like
racial.
there. It's like merit based.
Yeah. So I mean, we can go far, really far, with just closing your eyes and not be able to see, like visual perception. Yeah.
I feel like that's a
Um,
gateway to become more spiritual.
yeah. We have to. It's kind of seeking that sixth sense some way. I don't know. Maybe ask Spider-Man. Uh, yeah. Daredevil is truly that too. He's blind the whole, um, almost whole life till that accident make him become a blind young child. He's developing his supernatural. But it's not like supernatural, like like your eye is flashing the beam like Superman. That's just so fucking cosmic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now I really understand, supernatural power because like playing that game so much and keep reflecting on that. This model of characterization of power as skill, science, tech, cosmic, mystic, mutant. It's truly something that I would say cover the entire human power. And mystic is truly the one that's most powerful, but it's moved for I think a very long down the line episode because I don't think a lot of people get what I mean. It's a very uh, you know
I might
provocative.
not get what you mean.
Hard.
I need to watch these movies.
Yeah, I mean watch not really watch movie playing that games and play for some time, but you should just less worry about winning games and more about just checking characters. Yeah, and as soon as you feel yourself with that character, you see what I mean.
Hmm.
You see, oh wow,
I
in
might be
life
the
you need
person
some
that I just
skill.
want to win though, and that's the problem.
Sorry, man.
No,
Yeah, what's the problem?
I would be the person that I just want to win, and I wouldn't pay attention to like the character or the
Yeah,
story. You know.
yeah. it's the same. It's a norm, and yeah, everyone wants to win. I want to win, but because I'm playing so much, and I only have that reference for Marvel character, and I think Marvel did the best job in comics in terms of creating heroes like the supernatural person. So it's just good from both sides. It's not like DC, man. I swear. If I play so much DC game, I wouldn't see a comprehensive profile picture as I playing Marvel. Yeah. Okay, so back to this mental health and closing the eyes. Something that's good. I just transitioned it. Make sure that we'll talk later in the future. Like not having that visual perception will help you a lot, and maybe it's bring attraction as well. Like you know, maybe for a relationship for that certain partner. I would say it in the modern civilizing world of relationship. So a partner, right? It can be any race. I mean any gender. If you're focusing on understanding their heart, then you need to make sure that you less focus on the physical appearance.
Mm.
Just listen to them and you feel the character. Yeah, you feel different character, not one character. Because I want to say right now, I'm sound like I'm very calm and very, I would say, very sensible, like understanding philosophy and psychology shit. But I would say I make a lot of mistake too. I have a lot of you know moment that I need anger management. Yeah.
You
Why
know, I think
you have the silence? What's the matter you? I mean, what hold you down? Sorry.
no. Well, what I was gonna say is that this has to do a lot with psychology, a lot with emotions, because often we have emotions, but we repress them, and
Yeah, I used to.
when when you repress certain emotions, it's like that energy stays inside of you because you never expressed it, you never released it, and then what ends up happening is that we develop like coping mechanisms, because we have like this extra emotion inside of us that we don't let out.
Mm-hmm.
So like, for example, I don't know,
I can relate it.
you feel
Yeah, I.
you feel
I would.
stressed, but you ignore your body. Your body is smart and it tells you, that's why pain is a thing. It tells you when things are going bad, and stress is a similar thing. So if you're feeling stressed but you ignore it and you keep on doing whatever is making you stressed, you're just gonna end up breaking down at some point. It's gonna
So,
that the stress is gonna be so intense that you can no longer ignore it. But if you wait too long, it's gonna start affecting not only your mental health but also your physical health down the line.
yeah, you know what? I'm sound like I'm being neutral, but yeah, I have to be respectful. So there's a moment that I just tip of my tongue just pulling out because I'm so excited, man. So just keep it simple. Then maybe one of the future episode we're talking about repression and the ability to know when to let out and when to reserve. Because
Mm.
we're talking on the track of just letting out more. But yeah, sometimes you need to suppress.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to repress it. Yeah.
Like, can you give
But
me can you give me a minute?
I'm
Madre,
having
estoy
the.
ocupado.
Hmm? Sorry.
I'm sorry, I just
Okay.
gotta tell my mom something. Madre, estoy ocupado.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're back. Okay, you were saying.
All right. All right.
We're talking about repression, and
Yeah.
that we're gonna make a
It's
different
good we can
podcast just
edit
on
it.
that.
Yeah. So back to Russian. So basically, most of the time we're likely to let them out because unless you are an animalistic person or you are a fucking psychopath, then you always have that negative of like 99, I mean, sorry, 80 or 10 or 80% inside of the emotion, um, you know, that emotion um, capacity, right? So then when you let them out, you let almost negative energy and negative emotion, and then you're ending up like creating consequences, creating disaster and stuff. But yeah, so that's why in that um, reversal thinking, right? So it's like reverse logic thinking when you do math. Think about the counter example, and you prove that to see oh something very very logically fold, and you go back to say, oh, okay, the opposite actually correct. So
Mm.
that's mean you tend to um, let out more of the as a human, right? So we tend to let out emotion because most of it is the positive energy, and we are not animalistic. We're not a psychopath. But sometimes you need to suppress or repress it because you have that negative energy, negative emotion. You have to find a way to find it inside yourself. But it's weird because, like 5 minutes ago, I have this very powerful, like damn cool, very cool, freaking cool saying of a character in Marvel. He's a super villain, and definitely I don't know if you watch Daredevil. I got a feeling you haven't had time yet, but
Nope.
please, if you can, then try. I can give you the link right away to hear this supervillain saying, and it will make this whole let out and suppression sound a little bit complicated, but it's like it's not nailed down to the right point, but it's gonna make things as very um, deep with multiple dimension. You can see it.
Mm.
So he's saying it's like this. I don't know how to make the impression because he's an actor, and the way that he embraces that character is it's like he's one of the best actor in that show. Yeah, with being the super villain. His character name is also very cool. Kingpin. Kingpin is the very cool way to say you are ruler of a crime
Yeah,
organization.
yeah.
So basically, El Chapo is a kingpin.
Mm.
It's a very,
Drug lord.
um, yeah, very great way to explaining it, and not a lot of people appreciate that beauty of the word. Yeah, because it's negative, but it sounds cool, man. That's why in movie you'll be able to exploit it because it focus on that artistic of the word, artistic value of the word. Yeah. So back to Kingpin, he's saying to this to another villain, but he starting as a good person, and this Kingpin guy manipulated him to become a super villain. Basically, he say, yeah, I definitely have a bad memory, but I'll just try to keep it simple. So I'm not gonna look it up, say the whole quote, but I think his quote is like in one scene. In that scene, to find it, you have to text a few times. But basically, he say, if you keep your emotion in your mind, I mean, in your inside your body, one day it will become. Yeah, I think I like it. It's most powerful because of just one word. So if you keep it inside your body, it will become poison.
Mm.
Yeah, that one word, poison, is so strong because it gives me relation to many things, right? So if you keep a food, no matter how freaking fresh or no matter what refrigerator it is, you keep it for fucking long, then it's gonna become poison. It's gonna become decayed and smell. You know what I mean, right? So bad. So it's kind of in a sense good sin, you have to let out. But if you relate it to Kingpin, then you can't do that because you're trying to teach, manipulate this good person become a very bad villain. Because I mean, technically, he's not a good person. He's an okay, normal human being, but he has a psychological disorder because
Hmm.
like basically have anger management. So Kingpin is so damn freaking good. Like he's a he's a fucking gangster for sure. He's a master in manipulation. Watching him, you will feel why that whole show is the best. The best is most likely of that character. I would say Daredevil is contributed most, but to the greatness is that Kingpin character. He know how to manipulate people. Yeah, and like damn. So yeah, he know this supervillain subtle character. I mean subtle ability. Like he tends to be like a nice guy, but there's a certain stage he had that anger management, and he be able to capture it by holding out on the bad, uh, nostalgic childhood, the, the problem with mom, and the problem with the past
Oh, it's
relationship.
always like
I
that.
think yeah, everyone have that. I think to the human point is everyone have nostalgia. Everyone had bad memory, like even minimalistic, like 1%, but it's still considered bad, right? So if you're a master like him, he will be able to drill down into that weakness. I mean that 1% or very few percent and make it become a weakness and then control you. And then ending up this character he called Bullseye, but yeah, he didn't say it in the like no one in the TV show say it. Yeah, he ending up with his character names. His I mean his real name. Sorry. So yeah, like he cannot control anger, so he ending up killing people with crazy attitude because so precise and yeah, ending up become a damn like you know I don't know in more like a normal Marvel film, but he like like that. He's like a bad guy. He's like Winter Soldier basically, but even crazier, killing like priest, like basically a philosopher, a sacred person, right? A father in a church. So yeah, that's how crazy it is. He killing the priest because he's being manipulated. So in some sense, I would say back to this whole kingpin point. Yeah, we can talk about it at another episode. He's like, for me, I agree with the minority as well. He's way cooler than Thanos because his power of understanding human so surreal. He can master manipulation, not by some weird power of like those stones like soul stone and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's
it's more
just basically a
pragmatic.
gadget. Yeah, it's more like psychology and people say he has a you know broken system and kind of the starting point of the whole human society is already bad. But I mean, right now it's bad too. Like no government in any country has zero flaws, right? So if you have that kingpin person, man, oh my god, the world would be chaos. But that certain region will be in trouble. It seems be able to manipulate FBI in the film and make sure that he stay as long as they can and make sure they become his army, man. Oh man, yeah, that show is cool. I think the third episode, I mean the third season is the best one. So if you can, watching the first and then jump into the third episode, I mean third season, yeah, that my advice.
It's really cool how much you know these characters and how you connect them
Yeah,
with like all these
yeah.
deep
I'm not. I don't
concepts.
try to connect to Kingpin, man. I don't want to be
No, but just
a
like
reader
connecting the
of the other one.
concepts, like
Yeah,
how he
exactly.
uses psychology,
Yeah,
how other people use like a sixth sense.
exactly, man. That's why I love comics right now. From the paper, I look like a Jai, right? Like most of the Jai, they love super comics. I mean, yeah, science. I mean, sorry, supernatural scientific fiction, science fiction. But I basically just care about picking stuff to learn. So if you keep drill down, you find very great point. And I think the method is easy. Just try and um, perceive whatever great in that and note it down. Just make no mistake. All of these things that actually I witness, like I see, and I see it either from a movie or from a comments or from you know certain thing. It's not like I being just freaking watch it and put myself in the world to think it for like an hour and then come up with great ideas. Not like that. Yeah, yeah. It's like I'm being person genuinely watching movie and then searching for a bunch of things that's cool. Yeah,
All right, man.
I think that's how
I'm
you
pretty
watch movie.
satisfied with this
Yeah.
podcast. Do you have any more topics you wanna touch on before we call it?
If you have something to do, then we can cut it off, man, and then we can edit it. But I would say we have
I
a
just think
plenty.
this is really good. We touch on very good subjects.
Yeah, I think we still have a lot we can go into detail because
Oh, for sure.
that kind
There's
of like
always more to talk about, dude.
yeah, it's kind of psychology. I don't know. It's just my psychology. I don't think you feel it because I absolutely um, got what you have earlier about reparation. Like for me, if I came up with some outline or some sketch a bit, then psychologically I feel where to end the where the depth of the conversation. Now it's like I
I
don't
mean, we
know.
could continue talking. Like something that we can talk about later is, how
I think we can
what
go
role
back to
meditation
portrait.
would play, huh?
Yeah. Sorry,
So
go
like
ahead.
what role meditation would play in like,
Mhm.
eliminating racism.
Exactly.
There's a lot to talk about right there because I've
Yeah.
used, self-reflection myself to catch myself, having like
I think
racist
we
thought, for example.
yeah. If we make it very powerful, then we can come up with theoretical proposal. Because for me, theoretical proposal is actually like a half theoretical, half applicable. Because proposal is actually the things that you want to make it happen, make the society feel and feel like, oh, it's good, sounds good, and we can do it together. And definitely, we here is not everyone, man. There will be a lot of people disagree, but there will be a lot of people who embrace this. So, proposal, and as we make it theoretical, so we kind of have ourselves in a sense. We don't have to worry too much about like making it absolutely work. Like meditation, what I mean is the proposal of how to make meditation work in education system. Like what age what rate, what grade, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
uh, we required certain school, and but I saying that what certain school because I don't think we can apply to all school. And
I
how do
mean,
we make it happen
there are
quickly?
already countries doing it, so there's always other cases that we can look at.
Yeah, like we basically open up a lot of possibility. Yeah, being having us and maybe Joe. I think yeah, he's just put it simple. He also been busy, but he'll bring a lot of that mystical terms and crazy terms that I think we would
Dude,
listen to it and feel good about it.
I have a
But
lot of
yeah, I don't
those
know.
too. I've been
Yeah,
looking, India is has one of the oldest religions, aka like Hinduism, and they have so much knowledge. on that.
Yeah,
They
it's a
like all their scriptures go into a lot of detail about the human mind, and they have names for like, just to give you one example, they have a name for when someone meditates to the point they're no longer thinking in terms of words. You know,
wow,
they get to a state of mind where they cannot talk. They're not even comprehending the world in terms of thoughts.
wow.
And that culture is full of all that knowledge. Something I want to do is like, study that more
Yeah, it doesn't make
and
sense.
bring it
That's
to
so
in
cool.
Spanish.
Wow. Yeah, I mean,
I have
good
a lot
luck
of
for that,
friends
man.
from India, so sometimes I
Yeah.
talk to them about this as well.
Wow. Keep doing that, man. And you have my support. I
Thank
would
you,
say
thank
genuine
you. We're
support because,
we're we're in this together.
yeah, genuine support because I'm not the guy who will give you like, fully positive support because when come to a situation that it's basically um, give a negative potential, then you have to tell them. You have, I mean, I have to tell you, and then we work it out. Yeah, like it's basically there's always a challenge, so you have to solve challenge. It's not like believe in there's no challenge and keep moving forward. Yeah. Uh,
All right, man.
I
You
think
wanna
maybe
say
we can talk.
you wanna say bye so that we
Maybe
can officially cut it?
you. So I mean, like right now, it's just I'm keep looking at Feng Shui. I feel like can we say a few more sentence? What?
Sure.
Yeah, and then we call it off. So I just looking at this whole sentence in the article you shared to me. Should I read it?
Go ahead.
Right? Yeah, believer in Feng Shui see sacred purpose and mystical meanings behind design, not just aesthetically appealing buildings or French or superficially pretty surroundings. They view the world in terms of the cosmic energy and just freaking like so many things in I don't think I'm about to go into detail. Oh, I'm tired already. But cosmic and mystic right off in the games that I just play. And this guy, I think, Samson have connection with me, like the editor of this article. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like cosmic is basically meaning go beyond the human Earth. Yeah, this is
Mm-hmm.
basically something
Yeah, the
outside of the
cosmos.
Earth. Like Elon Musk is actually the guy who tapping on a cosmic um, I don't know, just say fuel or
He's
something.
developing the transportation that can get us beyond.
Yeah, I think I would say he's in terms of those six characterization that I learned from the game, and well and truly magnificent. Even though I would say you play it, you see it too. Like the game will show you, oh, there's six class of the heroes.
Well, you,
Blah
you,
blah
you
blah blah
still
blah.
haven't sent me the name of the game.
I sent to you.
When? You
A
gotta
few
send it
times
again.
already, man.
You gotta
You
send it
keep
again,
track
bro.
of it. Yeah, it's Marvel Contest of Champion. I don't mind saying. Just
Marvel Contest of Champion. All right, now I
yeah,
got it.
yeah, MCOC, man. Yeah, just play. To learn, man. Don't care too much about winning, man. Because the game too long, man. The game is like Dota. No,
Oh, really?
no, Dota or League of Legends is a very um, or even the game you've been playing like that what is it? I know it. Just give me a second. Fortnite, yes. You're playing Fortnite, right? So
Yeah.
this game is actually a combination of uh, multi uh, players and story mode. So like you have some fun things. You
Wait,
interact with other players, but
but
you
it's a
play
fighting
yourself.
game.
Yeah, you play yourself most of the time, basically.
I mean, I'm really into fighting games actually,
Yeah,
like
so
Mortal
multiplayer.
Kombat, Street Fighter. I love
Yeah,
those types
exactly.
of games.
I think Mortal Kombat has a lot of story mode, but this game surely has story because it's Marvel, man. They can make a lot of shit too. It's character. So right now the game has so many character, and it's basically an endless side because until the company stop their products, I think they're gonna keep adding new character. Right now it's like well over 180 characters. So we look at the scale over the past 5 years they've done that. So if they keep adding twice, in average case, twice new character, two characters per month, then oh man, right now it's crazy. There's this new character. It's a monkey. It's a monkey can fight crazier than a human.
The Monkey King.
You know? Yeah.
Maybe it has to do with Hinduism.
It's a Japanese original character.
Oh, never mind that.
It's called Monkey. Yeah, it's weird, man. Like it's the weirdest character of the game so far for the past 5 years in the community review. Like it's not like publicly saying, but the community reviewing it. Yeah. So
Wait, so is this game
yeah.
free to play?
Yes, of course.
Dude, I'm
That's what I
about to
played.
download it if it's for Mac. If it's available for Mac.
No, it's a mobile game, man.
Oh,
It's
will you
not
play it on your
laptop.
phone?
Yeah,
What?
that's the weirdest thing.
Nah, I don't know about that. I would have never imagined playing a fighting game on your phone.
I know. Wow, that
What?
is basically the
What? That's mind
biggest,
blowing.
what the biggest stereotypical downside of a player market.
I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm playing it anymore. I cannot play a fighting game without a remote controller.
It's just a very simple mechanism on tablet. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, I see, I see.
I feel them. Why you guys keep trying to stay away from mobile?
I'm not.
Oh,
I make games for mobile, dude.
yeah. I mean, then why you
But
don't play on mobile?
well, something I don't like is that, we just try to make it more simple than, you know, the more simple the better. I kind of don't like that dynamic.
No, it looks simple, but you learn complexity because I think that's kind of the sound that makes so much sense. Like understand why you
Mm.
make the sound of that for the game, but the game after you break down that typical sound, you understand why it's complicated. It's complicated because of 180 characters and every character had their cool mechanics.
Mm.
Like I just reviewed, yeah, I just revealed a bit of Spider-Man about the game. I mean, like complication of Spider-Man through the game because you need it in order to play Spider-Man well. You need to understand his mechanic, his super sense, his evade ability. Yeah, basically you learn a lot from the game. Yeah, that's what I found is the most important thing about a game is you feel like you learn something. It's attractive because so much stuff to look at it. It's not like how like FIFA where you just focus a lot on the skill set. This game is about knowledge. You definitely have some skill set too that you need to improve, but the knowledge of the character is cool. But whatever, back to this whole factory. Yeah, I read this statement. I feel it. I don't think a lot of people would understand the whole meaning, but this statement is cool. They kind of giving the relation. They draw the connection between mystic and cosmic, which is very on the right track of my mind too. I think mystic is beyond cosmic. Like you understand planet and stuff, kind of it's already sound very rare. Like nobody want to care too much about cosmic, as you want to just be yourself in this earth and focus on become better person.
You
Why
know
you can't
why?
better outside of
You
the
know
car?
why that is? Because of light pollution. There is so much light in a city that we cannot even look at our stars. We have forgotten that beyond the light and
Yeah, I
beyond the
recall
clouds,
light
there's
pollution.
like an infinite amount of stars. Isn't that sad? This is something
Yeah.
that all civilizations have been able to look up and see. But us, we have
Wow.
so much light that we cannot see the stars. That is unfortunate.
Damn, man. So I mean, like, I totally recall that you would love to get one episode talking about light pollution. It's a very unpopular, um, topic. Like, truly, like, climate
I
change.
came up
It's
with that one. Maybe that's why you haven't
yeah,
heard it that much.
yeah, I know. That's why it's
It,
unpopular,
it makes
beyond
us
popular.
more
Because
human centric, you know? It makes our ego like
don't worry,
big.
you one day will make sure everyone like understand that word, and basically you invent that word, you coin the word light pollution,
I
just
mean,
like just
that's
like
already a thing. There's nothing to coin there. It's more about talking
okay,
how that's making us forget the universe and the fact that we belong to this like greater cosmic network of planets and stars and black holes. We forget that, and then we live in a bubble, in a city, in a room, in the internet, and we forget the vastness of the universe.
yeah. Okay, so I just want to go a little bit diverge the topic a bit. We just talk about coin the word and invention the word, but I think it's a great source for us to express whatever crazy, often fucked up in our mind about a word that when you say it at first, like between me and you, we wouldn't understand each other. But keep doing that because just like I found this inspiration. I don't like Jeff Bezos
Don't worry, I
too
got
much.
you.
You gotta go.
No, I got you. I agree with what you were saying.
Yeah, I don't idolize Jeff Bezos. Like we talking about his status, social. I mean, financial status and social impact of him to the word in the first episode doesn't sound good at all. That's why, yeah, I don't idolize him, but I appreciate his coolness, like his personality of able to express himself. I mean, I think he's just because he's American, but we are right now we speak lingo, bilingual, when we comfortable with communicating English. So, but keep coining the word, just like him coining the word, the phrase regret minimization framework. When I hear it first, I feel like
I
is
mean,
this getting
I don't
mutually?
want to coin
I'm like
anything. I just
laughing
want to
at it.
share the
Oh,
knowledge.
yeah. So we can create something like that. We can put it in a framework. So it has to be right this moment, like half second before, I don't have that confidence, but right at this moment, and increasingly by just millisecond. That's how crazy it is. Just by a second, changing of the confidence. So I would love you to keep putting it the term itself because it gives you a source of explaining to more people. And if you have framework, right, just put it in the word. If you have some any meditation framework, put it and check it out whether it's like a you're checking availability of the domain name, whether it's there or not.
All right.
Yeah, just have that suffix framework, maybe Raphael meditation framework.
Maybe. Gotta think about that more.
Yeah, so if you get that framework, man, it gives you truly a very great marketing image, like a public image of your your whatever you represent yourself, your value, your personal value.
To be honest, you
And
know the name I
you
was
can write down a
thinking.
word. I mean, sorry.
You know the name I was thinking for my course. It would
No,
just be
how do I know?
like in Spanish, un curso de meditación. A course
All right.
on meditation. Kind of simple, huh?
Yeah, it's not gonna bring a lot of you
No,
know,
I
traffic.
think that would be enough.
No,
I think that would
please.
be enough. You know why?
I'm
Because
pushing you, so it sounds like
no,
I
but
make you a
you
bad person.
you
I
know
mean,
why?
yeah, it's
Because
good.
that is how that is how I would sell it to my family. You know, I was talking that I would want to make a course
Oh
for my
yeah,
brother
I
and my
got it because
sister.
of the audience. Yeah,
That is how I would
yeah,
that is how I would present it to them.
yeah. Make it simple because they would love to hear simple stuff, right? But in the
Yeah.
global sense of a things, you can pivot it. Like a word pivot is already weird, right? But I mean,
I
I
mean,
learned it from
yeah,
watching movies.
but remember that there's already a bunch of stuff on meditation. But what's unique is my audience.
Yeah, but someday you have to think about it spreading it to as many people as possible, right?
I mean, what I'm trying to get at is that there's already a lot of people sharing that knowledge in English, right? So I want to focus on my people, on Spanish speakers
Hmm.
that did not get exposed, that did not have a mom that would actually take them to a meditation teacher. That would be my target audience. And I don't need to expand to more because
Yeah,
once
I
I'm
feel you already.
successful in this small community, I will have more than enough. I will be
Yeah,
helping the people I want, and I am sure that I will be making enough to have a good living.
yeah, exactly. If that's very transparent, I mean, transcending yourself at the limit of Latino and Spanish speaker, that's very good. That's Yeah, but for me, only keep thinking about language choice. That's why it's bother me too much of pushing things to English to the global because until English is no longer um, internationalized language, then not doing it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna change it to just Vietnamese. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's just a simple thought. I'm tired already. You know.
All right, man. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Rafael, and to the all podcast listener and whoever watching on the YouTube. Have a safe night, and hopefully we can be able to go out and we can be able to meet each person. I know it's the
Thinking so
appeal
far
for
ahead, Trong.
man. Yeah, it's appeal for a long, long future. But I'm kind of getting tired. Man. I'm not. I'm not kind of. I'm
Bro,
playing. I wish. I mean, like because
no.
I witness
We
and
got,
I.
we got all the energy in the world. Just tell it to yourself. Use the attraction law. Think that you got energy and the energy will come to you. All right?
I mean, like just small talk. Like we don't need to record this, but like I witness.
All
Like
right.
in my home country, man.
Bye bye.
Everything is normal, man.